Hello, Derrick on here. This book I'm gonna read is the Tigger Movie because most books are about Winnie the Pooh, but at the beginning of the movie, Tigger wants to be his own story. And I'm gonna read it to you now. It was a terrific autumn day in the Underacre Wood. Hoo-hoo! Tigger happily called Bouncy for the freshly fallen leaves.
It's wonderful to be the one and only me.
In fact, Tigger felt so wonderful that he decided to share his bounces with his good friend Winnie the Pooh.
I do. Ooh,
Tigger greeted him.
you want to go bounce with me?
Yeah, well, I would, Pooh answered.
Except that I must down my honey ponds for winter. Yuck.
Tigger replied, accidentally stepping out into one.
I'll never understand why you ooze let his baby stuff. Well, anyway, to the event of for now.
So Tigger bounced over to Piglet's house.
I have figured out out.
Tigger caught,
What say when I do a little bit bouncing?
but Piglet was too busy collecting firewood for the winter. Tigger's like hanging next, but
Gang also had
too much work to do to go bouncing.
what?
Tigger didn't realize what that Roo would have loved to go bounce with him. But by the time Roo came running out of the house, Tigger had gone. Tigger sat down on a large rock.
Why would anyone not want to bounce?
He wondered. Tigger was sure someone would want to bounce with him. So he bounced off the rock and back into the forest. He didn't notice the rock had come loose and rolled down the hill and landed
Crash!
right on top of Eeyore's house. Eeyore was okay, but his house wasn't. He was stuck under the rock. It wasn't long before everyone but Tigger came round the house. Tigger still didn't know what had happened. Rabbit came up with a plan to move the rock. Everyone helped him construct a funny-looking device. No one really knew how it worked, but Rabbit was sure it would. They pushed and pulled, but the rock didn't budge.
Hello, you blokes.
Oh, Tigger, springing into the group.
You want to play a little bouncing?
We have no time for such nonsense, Rabbit cried.
There's work to do. What? With that old thing?
Tigger asked, examining the rock.
Not a problem. All I need is a little bouncing.
You think bouncing will move this boner? Said Rabbit. Ha ha!
It's all amusing. I'll show you.
Tigger answered. He wound himself like a giant scream and boing! Unleashed his biggest bounce ever.
The rough went flying.
Unfortunately, so did Eeyore and all his friends. Around and around they tumbled and stumbled until finally, splat! They landed in the mud.
Now that's out of the way.
Tigger said to his muddy buddies.
Who's up for a little fun type bouncing? Just look at this mess.
Rabbit shouted angrily.
Everything's ruined and all you can think on is bouncing.
Well, yeah, Tigger innocently answered.
That's what titters do best.
But we're not titters. Pooh reminded him gently.
You mean no one wants to bounce with me?
Tigger asked sadly. He walked off alone into the forest all alone.
Who needs him anyway?
Tigger exclaimed.
I'll just bounce by myself with nobody else. But, Tigger,
Roo protested, joining him.
on the other titters, I have a mama. Don't you have a family somewhere too? Family?
Tigger had never thought of such a thing before.
It was a thrilling idea. A family full of titters to say.
He asked excitedly, bouncing up and down. But Tigger didn't know where to find his family, so he and Roo went to ask Owl. While Owl rambled on about family trees, Tigger accidentally knocked some pictures off the wall. Roo tried to help his friend by coughing loud to distract Owl, while Tigger tried to put the pictures back in place. Then suddenly, while looking at the wall, Tigger had an idea. He would search for his own family tree, a tree that would be gigantic, spreading full of titters. And so, with Roo's help, Tigger searched the underacre wood for a tree filled with titters. He searched high, he searched low, he searched near, he searched far. Yo-hoo! Tigger called, family, hello! For hour after weary hour, the two looked but found nothing. The other residents of the underacre wood were busy too. They were still helping one another prepare for winter. But when Pooh, Piglet, and Eeyore found out that Tigger was looking for his family, They decided to help him instead, so off they went on their own quest for Titters. Meanwhile, Titter Roo had almost given up. The tired twosome trudged back to Titter's house.
Where are those Titters anyway?
Titter said with a sigh.
We've looked everywhere, where? Not to mention right over there. There's not a single strawberry tree in sight. It just me,
Titter,
if they were out there, we could all bounce a whoop-de-doop-a-loop-a-loop out here with bounce. Can you take it to me?
Bad Roo.
I'm gonna go bounce there, please. That's ridiculous.
Titter answered.
No offense, rude boy, but I think you're a little on the smart side of time for that.
Roo tried to bounce anyway, but crashed. Things fell all around him. Titter noticed a heart-shaped locket. He picked it up.
He eagerly looked inside the locket to see if there was a family picture.
But the locket was empty.
Completely titterless, sighed Titter. How am I supposed to find my family now?
Then Titter had a great idea. He would send his family a letter and invite them to his house. Roo eagerly helped his pal. When they had finished, they sent off Titter's letter. Then they sat down to wait for a reply. Meanwhile, Pooh, Piddly, and Eeyore weren't having much luck looking for Titter's family. Eeyore found some bouncy animals, but they weren't the right sort of Titters. Pooh found some striped animals in a tree. They reminded him of honeybees. As now they were honeybees, angry honeybees. All the while, Titter Roo waited for him to Titter's letter, so the first of the winter began to fall. Roo became worried about his downhearted pal. So one night, he talked to his mother Kanga the next morning. Kangaroo gave her the day together to write a return letter from Titter's family. Dear Tigger, okay, right? Now, what else shall it say?
How about dress warmly?
Kanga suggested.
Yes, Blueberry, and eat well. Stay safe and sound,
advised Piglet. Keep smiling, Eeyore added.
We're always there for you,
Roo said.
Wish you all the best.
Al concluded. Sign your family. That night, the secretly placed the letter in Titter's mailbox. Hoo-hoo-hoo! Titter gleefully shouted the next day.
Look what I've got. A letter from my very own family.
Everyone smiled. Titter was happy their plan was working.
And the best part of all is that they're coming to see me tomorrow,
Titter added. Everyone stopped smiling. They never wrote that.
Where does it say that? But Titters have to read between the lines,
Titter explained. Tim was so excited that his friend didn't have the heart to tell him the truth. Luckily, Roo came up with another plan. They would all dress up like Titters and pretend to be Titter's family. The next day, they would tempt Titters knock on his door. Surprise! They shouted when Titter opened the door. Titter couldn't believe his eyes.
Come on in!
He eagerly invited.
There's lots of capture. Oh, we gotta do. Hey, up for some family type fun and games,
Titter offered.
I know let's do what Titter's the best, bouncing. That's a loopy, I have a bounce,
cried Roo. But when Roo tried to bounce, not only did he crash again, but his mask also fell off. Titter saw that his family and Titters were really his unanchored friends. His feelings were hurt.
We only wanted to help,
explained Pooh.
That's all right,
replied Titter, sniffling.
Somewhere out there's my family, and I'm gonna find them. So TTFE, ta-ta, forever.
Titter left the house and entered the cold forest all alone. The next morning, a terrible blizzard hit the unanchored wood. Without Titter, winter seemed much colder and much more unfriendly.
Pooh!
Pleaded Roo, entering the bear's house.
You gotta find Titter. It's dangerous out there.
So Pooh sternly suggested that he, Piglet, your rabbit, and Roo form an expedition to find their missing friend. Meanwhile, Titter tramped through the deep snow, still searching for his family tree. Suddenly, he saw the biggest, tallest, brightest tree ever. I found it! He shouted, bouncing up the branches. Who's in my home? He bounced from branch to branch looking for Titters. But he didn't find a single one. At the same time, Roo, Pooh, Pidget, Rabbit, and Eeyore bravely fought the freezing weather as they searched for Titter. Titter, Titter, they called from the howling wood. Where are you? Just when it seemed that everyone was safe, Titter swept away in the swirling snow. I saved you, Titter! Roo cried. There's only one way to save Titter. Roo wound himself up and unleashed the mightiest whoop-de-loop-de-loop-de-looper alley, bounce ever. He grabbed Titter and pulled him to safety. Hoo-hoo, you did it, Roo! Titter cheered. You bounced as good as any Titter could. Then, when everyone was safely home, Titter held a party for his pals. And who we proclaimed on this most occasion, first ever family reunion, like present each of you a present. Titter gave Eeyore a new house. Who's some honey? Paid with firewood. And Rabbit, he brought always to watch where he was bouncing. Last but not least, Titter gave Roo the heart-shaped locket. And inside the locket, Titter put a picture of his very own family. His real family. The family Titter had discovered he had all along. The end. Hope like this book does. It's always good to keep on bouncing. Just up to subscribe with a big thumbs up. See the event. I'll for now.